How do you define yourself? Like, if someone walked up to you right now and asked you to explain exactly who you are, where would you even begin? It's honestly one of the most profound philosophical questions we face as human beings. But what's fascinating is that we actually start answering this question very, very early in life. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going on a bit of a nostalgic journey. We're going to look at the foundational elements of human identity, but through the lens of a primary school textbook. By stripping away all the complexities of adult life, we're going to rediscover the fundamental building blocks that make you, well, you.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our agenda today mirrors the treasure box map from our source, dividing the concept of self into a few distinct pillars. 1. The basics of you. 2. Facts and safety first. 3. Defining our favorites. 4. Fun with hobbies. And finally 5. The complete picture.
To guide us through this, we're introduced to a character in our textbook named Alan. Alan is a perfectly presented, template 5-year-old from Mumbai. He gives us his name, age, parents' names, and school. It's all very neat. But what makes this fascinating is the contrast right below him. A real student named Ganek has filled out his own details with this beautifully messy, authentic handwriting. He's 5 years old, his birthday is December 16th, and he studies in Class 1B at Lokhandwala Foundation School. Instantly, we see the difference between a blank, theoretical template of a person and a living, breathing human being stamping their existence right onto the page.
Section 1. Facts and safety first. The objective view. The absolute foundation of our identity rests on hard data. The textbook defines these as personal details. These are the unchangeable, objective facts that place us into society. For little Ganek, it's the fact that he's 5 years old and was born on December 16th. These details anchor us to a specific time and a specific place in the physical world. It is literally the baseline of our identity.
But listen, with personal data comes responsibility, and the textbook brilliantly pairs identity with safety right from the start. Notice how these critical safety rules are laid out for first graders. We have to memorize our address and our parents' telephone numbers, but crucially, we must never share our details with strangers. And we're taught to always carry an identity card to school. It's a profound early lesson, right? Your identity is valuable, it is important, and therefore it's something that absolutely must be protected.
Let's move to the next pillar and see how this builds. Section 2. Defining our favorites, the subjective view.
So, if personal details tell us where you are, your likes and dislikes tell us who you are. The source material shows us Nancy, who likes reading storybooks, Sid, who likes painting, and Rehan, who loves listening to music. We all enjoy different things. But equally important is the other side of the coin, our dislikes. The textbook explicitly states that we don't all like the same things. Our aversions, the things we actively reject, well, they create the boundaries of our personality just as firmly as the things we embrace.
And out of that massive soup of things we merely like, we elevate a select few to top-tier status, our favorites, the things we like the most. This represents the absolute peak of our personal identity matrix. Your favorite food, your favorite color. These are the subjective choices that you hold closest to your heart.
Which brings us to the third pillar. Section 3. Fun with hobbies, the active you. Now, what's really interesting about this is how hobbies bridge the gap between feeling and doing. The textbook defines hobbies as the activities we like to do for fun in our free time. A hobby takes an internal like or a favorite and turns it into an external action in the real world. It's how we actively choose to spend our most precious resource, our free time.
Just think about the incredible, diverse spectrum of human expression here. On one side, we have a quiet, nurturing outdoor activity like gardening. Right next to it, we have the loud, energetic, and wildly expressive activity of playing the drums. Your identity isn't just what you think about, it's vividly displayed by what you actively do with your hands and your energy.
I also love that the source material doesn't just stick to the obvious stuff either. It thoughtfully expands a child's horizons by introducing some really cool niche interests. It prompts them to explore origami, the art of paper folding, and even introduces numismatics, coin collection. It shows the learner that the world of active identity is vast, and there's always a new corner to explore and claim as your own.
So, the crucial point is summarized beautifully in what the textbook calls the treasure box. This is effectively a mind map of the self. About Me sits at the top, branching out into 3 equal, interconnected pillars. First, our personal details and safety. Second, our likes, dislikes, and favorites. Third, our hobbies. You really cannot have a complete understanding of a person without all 3 of these pillars standing strong together.
Now, theory is wonderful, but the true magic happens when we apply it. Section 4. The complete picture, assembling the self.
So what does a complete identity actually look like? We've broken down the anatomy of identity, but take a second to consider how all these building blocks actually come together in a single living human being.
And this brilliantly illustrates the final result. We are back to our real-life student, Ganak, who has filled out his About Me chart. The blank, sterile template has been entirely transformed by his handwritten pencil marks into a vivid, highly specific portrait of a blossoming personality.
Let's just delight in the wonderful specifics of Ganak's life for a second. When he grows up, he wants to be an astronaut. His absolute favorite ice cream is mango flavor. His favorite cartoon character is Peppa Pig. His favorite toys are his Legos, and his favorite subject in school is maths. Do you see how humanizing this is? By simply combining his objective details with his subjective favorites and his hobbies, Ganak just jumps right off the page. He's no longer a generic student. He is a very specific little boy with big dreams and, let's be honest, great taste in ice cream.
An identity is ultimately meant to be shared, isn't it? In a final activity, we see Ganak practically applying his personal details to connect with his community. He's written out a birthday invitation to his best friend, Ahan. He's inviting him to celebrate at a place called Bounce on his specific birthday at 7 p.m. sharp. He has literally taken the building blocks of his personal data and used them to create a real-world social connection.
It all starts so simply in first grade, right? With our name, our favorite color, and what we do for fun. But as we've seen throughout this explainer, those simple pillars are the exact same foundations we use to navigate our entire adult lives. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought. If someone handed you Ganak's blank chart right now, today, how would you fill it out? How have your objective facts, your subjective feelings, and your active choices evolved since you were 5 years old? Take a moment to map out your own treasure box today. You might be surprised by who you discover.